suspicious
Oh my God!
of attempted murder at this time. Okay.
Oh my God! I've got three.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
And that, well, that was your warning. And now, well, now we can begin. I'm going to introduce you guys to a type of thing in our universe, a thing that is so easy to hate, a type of person who just by looking at them, you feel a feeling of like rage and deep disgust. This type of thing usually is a male, but more and more over time we see that it's the female of our species that takes its form as well. And it's the crime that these things commit that whenever you hear about it on the news, usually close enough but far away, that it's the one where you really want to see what the fuck someone like that looks like. The opposite of what it is our species is designed for. You see, in Aotearoa we have suppression laws, really good ones and really fucked up ones. The fucked up ones are when those laws make it or help it so that the bad guy can get away with it, can hide behind it, can get away with it from people knowing, from being in that community consciousness. So that's why when you actually get to see actual footage of these types of things that will either commit a crime so unfathomable or be complicit in it. You see, if you stand by and let it happen, then sweetheart, you're burning along with them. These things are the same thing in my country as they are in my subscribers and my members' countries, all of our countries. These things are the same in all of our countries. And this episode I pulled together, we say thank you. That's the Brits. And it's a show called 24 Hours in Police Custody, because those guys, it follows crime from the time of the 111, 911, 011, 000 call, or whatever those three may be, all the way from those calls to the sentencing. And they managed to film on body cam, videos shot by neighbours, and interrogation cams. This type of thing, you actually get to see how dangerous it is to allow children, women, or elderly, or just people in general around them, and how dangerous it is to allow this type of thing to remain around you, or your whānau, or your friends. So let's go see how easy it is to know that the reason why we are more like each other than we are not, because it's natural to feel the feeling, which makes you sure that humans, every now and again, are meant to feel hate.
Ambulance emergency. Is the patient breathing?
Is he breathing? No, not really.
Okay, listen, take a deep breath. Listen, is the patient breathing?
No.
Tell me exactly what's happened.
He's been poorly all morning.
How old is the patient?
Oh, precious, what do I do? Not breathing at all.
I understand he's not breathing. We've got the help coming out to you.
Oh my God.
Listen carefully. Are you right by the baby now?
Yeah.
Right, lay him flat on his back on the floor, remove any pillows.
Yeah.
Is he on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay, listen carefully. I'm going to tell you how to do chest compressions. Make sure your fingers are on the breastbone, right between the nipples.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
Keep going, don't stop.
1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Keep going.
Yeah, we're upstairs, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, he's just going in the ambulance now. We're waiting for the kids till the nan gets here and I'm getting up there.
Alright, mate.
Hi, mate. I'm going to have to go to the piece of it. Alright, that's fine. I'm fine, but
Alright,
he's
mate.
not breathing.
Alright, he's in the best hands now.
I had to give him CPR. I didn't know what I was doing.
You would have done the right thing. Could go and make sure the others are okay.
It seemed like something.
Do you mind if we just go in and just make sure they're okay? Is that all right?
All right.
So what's your name? What's your name?
Kane.
Kane.
Just
Right,
say
Kane.
Dad's alright.
Dad's all right.
He's gone to the hospital.
Okay, okay. All right, thank you. If you want to have a quick chat, do you want to stay with Kane for a second? Is that all right?
It's going to go to the best place.
breathing.
I know. But babies are so resilient, honestly. They are. You would not believe.
Sick.
Take some deep breaths.
This is Kane Mitchell, and he's one of those things that's so fucked up. It is hard to even comprehend how it made it to be 31 years old without running into people that have mana or prison. He was dating this chick called Lucci Smith, who was meant to be a mum of this little guy called Teddy. And when Lucy one morning was on a school run and left Teddy in the care of this nobody, Kane decided to do what he does, get angry and take it out on anyone vulnerable around him. And at that time, it was an 11-week-old baby. You see, these things, they don't care about how old the vulnerable person is. If it's a baby to a full-grown wahine, just as long as they are vulnerable, weaker in strength, just as long as somebody can be hurt, these things believe that their victims are to blame. That's the type of thing that this thing is. And hating this type of person is easy. Stopping this kind of person, well, it can be a bit more difficult. So, in 2019, after the Coppas get to Kane Mitchell's, they then shoot everyone down to the hospital.
I think that's just because a little kiddie was very...
Name's a bit.
Time of birth is 1544. Google close.
Tell me 270. Can't quite make out, but I believe the doctor's got pulse.
Okay, hi. Hello, ma'am. Come in. What's the name? Septic. Septic. It's got a good color, but it's just very early. We don't know what's causing it. We don't know where it goes, so we are not out of this at all.
With a baby suffering a traumatic cardiac arrest, the police are called to observe the scene in case the cause is suspicious.
This is Dad, this is Kane.
It's big.
It's just sick to think that an hour ago, Kane Mitchell had picked up baby Teddy and swung him repeatedly into a wall and then stomped all over him. And yet here he is trying to act more traumatized than Lucy, because he knows that the only other person he can pass the blame off to for doing this to Teddy, so he doesn't go down for it, is the weak one in the room.
Hello, sir. Seems quite anemic, that's why he's so pale. We don't really know why. I'm trying to work out if he's had a bleed somewhere that we can't see. That's the main thing. So that's why he needs a scan of the head, and he needs a scan, and we need x-rays and chest x-rays.
The doctor said it might be viral meningitis.
Infection could make a baby this sick, okay? But I don't know that's what the cause. I need to, I've got to work out other things. Right? We'll try and do a lumbar puncture, which will look specifically for meningitis.
Baby Teddy is taken for a CT scan.
No, unless it's sprinkled. What's his number? I'm going to wait for the scan, but these are what, everything? Because he's not responding. So there's no number. What was actually come out, he wasn't breathing, there's no response.
It's just going downhill. Okay.
Just thought I'd keep you updated.
Yeah.
together.
So the doctors tell the coppers that they don't think this was an accident, and they don't think that baby Teddy, an 11-week-old baby, could put up much of a defence against a 31-year-old supposed man. So they arrest Kane and Enable, and this is where you see the acting really come together and that disgust just get deeper.
The decision is made to arrest both parents so they can be interviewed under caution.
The man's arresting you for attempt murder, okay?
I beg your fucking pardon?
Do not mention
I beg your fucking pardon? Are you joking?
anything you do say may be given evidence.
No.
Very upsetting time.
No. I beg your fucking pardon? I don't fucking think so.
You're not taking him.
Madam, I have to say the same to you.
You're saying the same to me.
Colleagues, so we are arresting you on suspicious
Oh my god.
of attempted murder.
Are you joking?
Okay.
Oh my god.
I've got 3 other kids. There's never
Oh baby.
And they are.
Oh my god.
I'm
Genuine question.
not leaving my son.
Right.
We're not leaving our son. Fuck you. No.
We
Okay.
need to be with him.
So the reason for being arrested is to prevent further harm. Okay.
I beg your fucking pardon.
Hey, calm yourself
Then
down.
You're in a
appearance
hospital with 6
witnesses.
children in here.
We're not
okay?
going to harm
Mind where you
our
are.
son.
Can I just tell you, Teddy's going to Addenbrooks, okay?
No, it doesn't matter where he's going because he's not
can't see him,
arresting
mate.
us, mate.
Okay, when we discover that a baby has a fracture, which doesn't happen, it just doesn't happen like that.
Well, I know, but we haven't done nothing to
Okay,
him.
and that is why there is a due process involved. Police.
But how are they ever going to know if we're telling the truth or not? Because he can't answer, can he?
We have to conduct an investigation. That's the point.
Oh, just wait here for me for a second. Sam, do you want to...
You're not copying me either.
No, that wasn't the intention. We didn't want to.
Love you.
Love you.
Everything's alright. We haven't done nothing wrong.
Point to point you in a bit is exactly what we need, yeah.
So they bring them down, and this is the first initial interviews.
How would you describe your relationship with Kane?
Good.
Yeah?
We've got a good relationship.
How do you share the childcare? Who does what?
We do both do our fair share of everything. There's no his and her roles.
And
There's never any arguing about it either.
Well, me and her have got a good relationship. We're strong. Yeah, we're solid. In fact, it's the best relationship I've ever been in.
Just been living family life. Just surviving. Working as a team like we usually do, me and you.
Now here's the crazy thing, even that they know that these two things are the reason a little baby died. Until they do that investigation, until they get those notes from those specialists, until that evidence is given by those specialists, they have to give these things bail.
The couple are released on bail so they can spend time with baby Teddy in hospital. While there, they will remain under constant supervision by the police. Lucy Smith's 3 other children remain in the care of their biological father.
It feels really uncomfortable to bail somebody when you are sure as you can be that you've got the right people. But we have to be able to prove it, and there are good reasons for that.
The investigation. This is where we get to find out how many stacks make up that sack of shit by way of a house-to-house interviews with neighbours, ex-girlfriends and the trusty cell phones, which gives us all a snapshot of what Lucy allowed into her home to be around her kids.
The results from house to house yesterday. So number 1, which is directly below.
She is very worried. She's got 3 kids herself. She heard a lot of shouting and swearing from Kane towards the children. Her living room's directly below theirs, and in the summer they've had the windows open so she can hear everything. She heard some really vicious arguments between Lucy and Kane, and just described Kane as being an angry person, so she called the police. She also knows that 2 other neighbours have called the police. She's lived in the flat for 4 years, and Lucy was already there with the children's dad. She doesn't remember his name, nothing out of the ordinary when they were living together, and then about 1 or 2 years ago it was split up. Lucy's been seeing different men. Lucy then met someone, got pregnant, and they split up soon after, and not long after, that's when Kane came on the picture and moved him in soon. So for her point of view, Kane is not biological father.
Particularly with this disclosure that Kane may not be dad, is the safeguarding between Kane and Lucy. At the moment, because of the crisis time, because of what's happening at the hospital, and that they will be focusing on that, I think the risks aren't as great. But I think once they switch the machines off, and if Teddy goes, I think the likelihood is that Teddy will die. The tensions will start to really show, and I'm concerned and anxious that we've got the appropriate safeguarding measures and support in place for Lucy. My understanding of Kane is that he is a very angry man for whatever reason.
A neighbor contacts police, claiming they have caught on video evidence of Kane Mitchell's abusive behavior.
Move your fat cunt here! Now! Now! Move your fat arm! Oh, 25 minutes, mate! You move your fucking arm! I'm at your fucking front door, freezing, you fucking cunt! You took my keys off me! Hurry the fuck up! I've been ringing you for 25 fucking minutes! Move your fat cunt here! Now! Now! Prick! Hurry the fuck up, you fat bitch! Hurry up! Hurry up, or I'll smash you. Now, you fucking prick. Hurry the fuck up! Hurry up, mate! How long have I been fucking calling you for? Hurry up! Hurry up! Fat bitch!
A former girlfriend of Kane Mitchell agrees to speak to detectives.
It's a big investigation, as you can imagine. It's the death of a baby.
I said this would happen. I cried for days feeling this thought. Yeah, this is a baby. This isn't even somebody that give him a little bit of mouth back. I know what he was like towards my children. I know the tempers, the rage. I know the losing control. And it would be an instant. It would be a trigger that just flips. He would just flip. And I honestly can imagine him doing something. I honestly can. Within that relationship, I felt like I couldn't. There was nothing left of me. You had to do what Kane would tell me what to say to social services. Kane would tell me the lies I had to tell people to the school.
What did you feel would happen if you didn't do it?
Oh, there's a beating coming. Right. There'd be a beating coming.
What form of the beatings in? What would he do to you?
Strangle me, spit in my face, punch me, slap me, throw things at me. Call me names, slag, slut, whore.
I've got full data back for both Kane and Lucy now. I did have a quick scan through Kane's while I was ripping out his contacts list, and there is stuff in there where there's one incident on the 17th of October where it seems like she's gone to the park with the kids because she's bumped into another parent from school. So she said to Kane, I'm just at the park, I'll be back later, and he just goes absolutely mental. He's saying to her, when you get back I'm going to batter you, I'm going to fuck you up, even if the kids are there, I'm going to drag you into the bedroom. And there's just, like, the text between them, it's not what I describe as a happy relationship. And it does seem, on that occasion, that he's on his own with Teddy in the house, because he says, I'll fuck off and leave Teddy here, it's not my problem, and stuff like that.
You're about to hear the post-mortem for baby Teddy, for an 11-week-old baby, and I warn you that it is horrific and how truly sickening that it is that a newborn baby into our world from the start only knew pain and misery for the 11 weeks of life that he had. It is incomprehensible.
When I get the results from a post-mortem, it's often the watershed moment in an investigation, because it's the moment when I know for sure whether that person or that child has died from an injury that's been inflicted on them by another person, or whether they've died as a result of an accident or an illness.
So the radiographer did his bit first, went for the skeletal survey. So full skeletal survey, 27 pictures taken.
Yeah.
He came down and debriefed us, and that's where it started, really.
Okay.
So the start was ribs, spine, both clavicles.
Is this all broken?
This is all broken. This is both clavicles, skull and pelvis.
Jesus Christ.
Skull fractured straight across from there, all the way across there, in two, literally broken in two halves. Method of injury then, they think compression on the side somehow, but what the radiologist said is the only time he's seen this kind of compression at this level was on a stamping. What they think with the spinal is that onto something. They suspect 5 or 6 different events at least due to the healing regime and from birth.
Shocking. It's devastating. It just makes you angry, right? Angry. And you get even more angry when you realise that the Coppas, they have to bail him and her because of the wait for the specialist to come on board and give evidence that the beatings that Kane was giving this little baby had been going on for ages. So up until then, Kane and Enable were both bailed.
A bit frustrating.
She's saying she doesn't have enough evidence to charge the murder at the moment. I know she doesn't, because we don't have the expert witnesses aren't back. We aren't going to have the expert witnesses back until probably for another 8 weeks. Yeah, I find it very, very frustrating. The biggest pieces of evidence we have is the medical evidence in terms of the number and severity of the injuries and the healing timescales of those injuries. What we need in order for the CPS to be able to charge is clear medical evidence that baby Teddy died from an inflicted injury, but I don't have the expert reports in front of me, so I cannot present them to the Crown Prosecution Service. And because of the complexity of that medical evidence, it takes time.
But as with the workings of this universe and how this universe can give a strand of light in a sea of darkness, and that light being there only when a human is there to receive it, and in this case, it was the next door neighbour, the human in the room, a human with mana, doing the right thing even for those who don't want it. But that's what makes mana mana, I suppose.
Police emergency, how can I help?
Hi, my neighbours are really fighting, and I think he's got Oliver to hear us. And I heard him shout like the F word, and then I looked up at the kitchen window, and that's when I saw him grab her by the chin, round the neck, and push her against the wall. And then I could hear her do this awful noise as if he was strangling her. This is ridiculous. They shouldn't be around each other. It makes me nervous.
Hello? Hello, mate, you alright? Hey. Right, come in. Yeah.
Well, it's been domestic or some sort of
Setting up the internet. Is this a joke?
beauty.
No, I'm sick. I'm honestly sick of you coming around here now.
We get calls.
Fucking definite, mate. My kid's just fucking died. I'm answering bail tomorrow, and I've got you 2 knocking on my fucking door.
Are we alright to speak to you? Are you alright to speak to my colleague whilst I speak to her? Is that alright?
No. About what?
Okay, well, we just need to speak to two separately.
You can get out if you like. You ain't got a warrant. You can also get out.
Don't need a warrant.
Yeah, but I've told you what I'm doing.
Right.
Sick of this
No worries.
shit.
We're right, just pop in there for 2 seconds? Yeah? Just what's happened, mate. You've told me what's happened.
I'm sick to death of this. I really am, mate.
I can appreciate your frustration, but we've got a job to do, and when a call comes in, we have to respond to it.
What, from them upstairs, is it?
And I appreciate your frustration with it. Has anything happened?
No.
No.
Taking the piss now.
Okay. I can see some marks around your neck. Is that anything to do with why we've been called here today?
No, it's probably my tan.
On this side, I can see some.
Where?
Just up around there.
Well, he hasn't even touched me. We've been out all day.
Right, okay.
Gas man came this morning.
Yep.
He didn't get out of bed until he went, which was about 12 o'clock.
Right.
And then he went to town, went to the Royal Mail place, came back here, and I'm trying to set that piece of shit up. And that is it.
Right.
There hasn't been no argument here.
Okay.
So, that's the end of that.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, but if they carry on reporting, because I know it's them, if they carry on, I'm going to get, well, I'm already getting something sorted out to move, because I'm actually fucking sick of them reporting
Right.
for 5 minutes. It's a joke.
If you want to make a complaint, you need to call up on 101.
No, you're here.
No, you need to call 101 unless it's an emergency, and then it's 999. I'm not here to take a report for a complaint you wish to make about your neighbours. You need to call...
Report from from someone else. Brilliant. You can't take a report from us on the scene. Okay, mate.
Call 101 if you have a complaint.
Right, get out of my house, please. Both of you now. You took my statement. Go.
Thank you. Cheers.
I'd say the same, but...
So, banging from down there, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Door kept on banging that off. Have you heard anything? Or...
We hear a lot.
Oh, do you?
We hear a lot.
Right.
Do you want to go through?
Yeah, no bother.
I mean, we hear shouting, screaming, everything, banging.
Yeah.
It's constant.
Okay.
It's constant. I mean, we hear him screaming. I mean, we know what's gone on with the baby and everything, and it frightens. It doesn't frighten me, but it frightens me.
Yeah.
He's quite aggressive. I mean, it does frighten me. I feel intimidated. I wouldn't go out at night on my own.
Never go. Hello, we're up, come back in.
Why?
Just for a few minutes, just need to talk to you.
What? What now? What now?
Okay, can you do a quick phone number?
What now?
Light down.
Huh?
Put the light down as well.
Why? You're not arresting him.
Huh?
You're not arresting him.
Probably want to put that out there.
You're not arresting him. What have I done now?
Put it out, just listen to what the
You're not arresting him, are you? I'm not staying here on my own tonight before bail.
We'll explain it to you in a second.
What have you done?
Okay, you're under arrest there.
No!
I beg pardon? The PD-led common assault.
Domestic violence common assault? He hasn't done anything!
Just listen.
What?
Listen to everything that's said,
Oh
okay?
my...
You don't have to say anything that may harm your defence. If you do not mention when questioned,
Is this a
you
joke?
will rely on court. Anything you do
You're not
say must
taking
be
him
evidence,
anywhere.
okay? Necessity for your arrest is to prevent further
What's your name?
injuries, okay?
What injury?
Protect the vulnerable.
Come and have a look at me out here. Excuse me.
Look,
This is my vulnerable. I haven't done nothing. No, you're not taking him anywhere until... No!
That's what the officer
You're not taking him. No!
I've done nothing. Listen, just turn around.
You've got no proof.
Okay,
I've done fuck all.
turn around.
No!
Turn around.
I've got no marks on me, no!
It's ridiculous.
Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Yeah, mate. You need to check my neck. There's nothing on me. There's nothing on you. There's not a fucking mark on you. If anything, I've got marks on me, mate. Not from me. Did you got right? They're arresting Jane. Nothing on me, mate. There are.
Let's have a check, don't we? Just don't
Oh, yeah. Fucking. This is fucking ridiculous!
Right, calm down. Calm down.
This is fucking ridiculous! Absolutely fucking ridiculous!
Not gonna help.
I'm not having it!
Okay.
Calm down. Calm fucking down!
Now, here's the thing, and it is a thing, because when you look at this act, of such evil, you automatically have to break the event like that this act was. Break it down under its circumstances. What were the circumstances that allowed or enabled this event to actually take place? And when you do that, you have to take into account that if it's in a domestic environment, if it's in a domestic setting, that the male of the relationship primarily always, and I mean always, uses violence and terror as his form of control. What makes him feel big and powerful, that he's able to beat up a woman and terrorize kids and babies. Do things like this. Worthless. But they are out there. They are out there, and there seems to be like quite a few of them out there, bringing this type of life to a wahine of any age, especially ones with kids. These types of things are out there right now, terrorizing the whānau. These awesome leaders, these pathetic kings. And that is why you must take into account factors of abuse and psychology of being within a team of two where the other team member bashes you. It's not a much of a team at all. Here's the thing. Battered partner syndrome is real. So that's why when you do analyze it, you take into account battered partner syndrome. It is heavily taken into account with how the female, because it primarily is a female of the domestic partnership, will act and commit acts and allow acts. And it can cover almost all acts and crimes. But any one of those acts affects the lives of kids, then that empathy, well, it dissolves pretty fucking quick. And that's why when I hear the effects of battered partner syndrome, and I do, as I do in this next segment, up until a point, it makes me think when I'm listening to her that if this was to do with any other crime, any other crimes roughly at all, you would look upon her as a victim. Unless that crime involves babies or kids. And it is why when I listen, I think she knows exactly who did this. No matter how she says it or how dumb she plays, she's not DC dumb. Anyone, even dumb ones, would know. That's what makes it so hard to see and hear when you don't hear the anger and the rage for the loss of her baby. The anger and rage for the loss of little baby Teddy. That if anyone murdered your baby, whoever it was, the anger would be multiplied by the feeling of the loss of your baby. And that is not quite how this goes at all.
Okay, so I must remind you that you are still under caution, and that is you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you will later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Okay. Now, as you're aware, there has been a post-mortem. The post-mortem said that the provisional cause of death was the head injury, but the additional comments as part of this is that on the basis of the naked eye examination, there is no evidence of any natural disease that caused or contributed to the death. The presence of a skull fracture and a brain injury diagnosed in life, together with the finding of retinal hemorrhages, so hemorrhages behind the eyes, is evidence of a head injury of either a shaking or impact type. Okay, so that it's inflicted. There's also evidence of rib fractures, potentially of different ages, and evidence of lumbar spinal fractures and pubic fracturing. And these would be consistent with compression or an impact, so again, inflicted. Is there anything you want to say in relation to that post-mortem result? Have you got any explanation as to how Teddy sustained any of those injuries? Whether it be an accident, whether it's on your part?
No idea.
No idea.
No.
Or whether you're covering for somebody else?
No.
Is there anyone that you're scared of, and the reason that because you're scared you are covering for them?
No. Okay.
There's nothing at all?
If there was, I would say, because that's my son at the end of the day, and he means more to me than anybody.
The next bit we're going to look at is your relationship. Okay, so in your interviews, you said that your relationship with Kane was good. There are the usual ups and downs. You don't really argue. We have looked at your phones. The messages on the phones do not reflect that relationship at all, and what other people are saying. Now, the first few months or month or so, it did seem like the honeymoon period. It's not long before these messages start turning nasty.
Every couple rows.
They're more than just a row. They are pretty horrific towards each other. Okay. I'm going to go through some of the statements that we've gathered. Again, these are people that are saying that your relationship was volatile, that they heard lots of arguments, that they've had to call the police and social services. Again, this is at odds to the way you've described your relationship.
Obviously, we argue. When we argue quite bad, yeah.
Okay. So the first is from your neighbour. She heard lots of arguments. As a result, she called the police and social services because she was concerned about your welfare and the children's welfare. She could hear you screaming and one of your daughters crying. She's asked, did he hurt you? And you said, no, hun, just push me out of the way.
Yeah, probably because he wanted to get out the door, whereas I wanted to sit there and talk it out, and he'd want to go out and cool off, probably.
And when you say pushed you out of the way, what?
Just like pushed me because I was standing there saying, you're not going, stand here and talk to me about it, or whatever. Don't even know it was over.
Okay. Again, your neighbours, he described your relationship as being volatile and that the arguments sounded like blue murder. He said that you were always hysterical when screaming and crying. It sounded like someone being murdered by the way they scream and shout at each other. He said he could hear scuffling and banging from the flat, like things were being thrown. He felt that the male where he came was drunk when this was happening, as his speech was slurred.
That's lies.
Okay.
It painted me out to be an absolute arsehole.
We then got a statement from your dad, and he said that whilst you were staying, he did get the impression that things weren't quite right. He said that Kane was quite controlling. Again, you just laughed. Is that not right in relation to him? No? You wouldn't describe Kane at all being controlling your relationship? Were there any incidents then while you were down staying with your dad?
No, he threw a bowl of chips at me in Wellington Pier, and then he walked out, and then I walked out after him crying, being dramatic.
Okay. Is there anything you want to add in relation to that?
Well, where do I start? We've got numerous witnesses now have come forward, put pen to paper, signed statements, knowing full well that if they lie and prove that they've lied, they can be in trouble. Even your own father states that you've told him that Kane's hit you. We've got people who have seen injuries on you, stating they've seen injuries on you. We've got people stating they've seen Kane grab you around the neck, and each time these have been put to you, Lucy, you deny it, and you're portraying Kane to be...
Grabbed me around the neck. Yes, he's an arsehole, I know that. But he has never grabbed me around the neck. We've had a few little slaps here and there, but he's never done anything like that. And I know he's been violent in the past as well.
These people are telling us that there were more arguments, there was more violence.
Yeah, there was arguing.
You've even just added in just there, yes, he is an arsehole, and a few slaps. Where have these few slaps come from, Lucy?
Because I just don't really see why it matters.
It does matter.
And we're trying to explain...
But just because he's going to do something like that doesn't mean he's going to do anything to Teddy.
We appreciate that. But you've got to be honest with us about what sort of person Kane is. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All I ask is you to be upfront with us about your relationship with Kane. And I'm going to ask you a straight question, look at me straight in the eye. Kane has assaulted you on a number of occasions. Kane can be violent, can't he?
Yeah, and I know that because I've seen all his past history.
Yeah, but he's been violent to you. And he can lose it, can't he?
Yeah, that's what I with me maybe, or an adult, but he wouldn't do it to a child.
He's got a temper.
A bit of a temper. It doesn't mean he'd do anything to my children.
Well, somebody did.
Well, I know it wasn't me then. I know he wouldn't do that. He loved that baby. He honestly loved that baby.
Why have you not told us about this before, Lucy?
I don't know. Don't see why it matters, but like you say, it does, honestly.
Can you see why it does, though?
Yeah.
And that then opens up the questions to us. Was Teddy caught in any crossfire?
No, never. 100% he wasn't.
Was Teddy
put my life on that he wasn't.
At all?
Never.
But we've got police reports that show that the police have been called out. It's that bad, and the children have been there.
Yeah, but he's never hit me by the kids.
And where have they been when?
Probably in the room playing or in the living room.
But they're in the house.
We'd be in the kitchen or... Yeah, I know.
So they could walk in at any point. They could see the results. They could see if you'd had injuries or anything.
Yeah, they've never seen anything like that.
Is there one thing in relation to Teddy where Kane's concerned that causes him any resentment towards that baby?
Other than the small percentage of him not being the dad, but I doubt he'd...
Small percentage?
Small percentage.
Okay. We have done DNA profiling.
Really?
Yeah, we've had to, and it's important.
Why have we had to, though?
Because we need to see if there's any brittle bones in the family.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's why it's important to us, and we have done the DNA profiling, and it has come back, and that Kane isn't Teddy's...
Are you joking?
...father. And that's going to be the end of the interview.
Both suspects are given bail, while detectives wait for reports on the medical evidence to be completed. Bail conditions are that they have no further contact with each other, and Kane Mitchell must wear an electronic tag to monitor his movements.
She's got over the first bit of telling us there was domestic abuse and more than she's letting on. She just can't, and you could see the clock, you could, but she just can't get over. Yeah.
I know it doesn't look good. She said that several times.
But why would he?
She's been given every opportunity to tell us what a horrible bloke he is, that, you know, she was in fear of him, all of that stuff. She hasn't taken that opportunity. We're going to have to develop our file and present it to the Crown Prosecution Service that she's guilty of the Section 5 offence and he for murder. With a Section 5 offence, it's causing or allowing the death or serious injury to a child. And you don't have to prove that they killed the child, that they physically injured the child. It's just that they were aware that the child was likely to be injured or harmed because of the circumstances of that relationship and within the makeup of that household.
Police interview one of Lucy Smith's older children, who lived with her and Kane Mitchell.
Ugly Kane.
Ugly Kane?
I call him ugly because he hits me. He punches me in the arm.
Okay, and you said he threw you in your room. And how did he throw you in your room?
He basically got hold of my leg and dragged me in there. And my head was on the floor. He was holding my phone and clenching it really hard. And also Kane punched Mummy's mirror and his hand was bleeding. So Mummy ran into our room and shut the door so he couldn't hurt us.
What was he doing that was threatening you?
He was trying to punch us all.
How did all that make you feel?
Sad, because the glass was on the floor and Mummy stepped on it.
Throughout the investigation, I've ruled out accidental cause. I've ruled out, as best as I can, any medical cause. He didn't have a illness that would have caused those injuries. And the evidence of significant friends, the phone evidence showed that Lucci and Kane were the only people who had care of Teddy through the material timeframes. Couldn't have been anybody else. And that's why this job is so difficult, because you have Teddy's 2 primary caregivers, either of whom are culpable.
Kane Mitchell as an appropriate adult who will be present throughout his interview to ensure he understands the questions asked.
Right, is everyone ready for me to start?
Yep.
Okay, this interview is being electronically recorded onto DVD, both audio and video. So, I must remind you are still under caution. That is, you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Prior to the interview, we did give some pre-interview briefing, and that is, since the start of the investigation, a significant amount of inquiries have been conducted in an effort to establish how Teddy not only died as a result of a head injury, but also how he came to have sustained so many other injuries. Witness statements have been taken from family members, relatives, neighbours of both of you in order to provide an insight into the relationship and lifestyle. Information has been gathered as a result of speaking to witnesses, suggests that relationship between you and Lucci is not as consistent to how you both have portrayed it during your interviews. It is alleged that you have been involved in a number of incidents of domestic violence, which have not only been witnessed, but have come to the attention of the police. So, you know, in your interviews, you said that your relationship was solid, best you've ever been in.
Yeah, I love her. I love her more than any other I've ever been with. But we are verbal. We are verbal.
Yeah, yeah.
Very verbal.
Yeah.
Clearly, the neighbours have all told you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've said that it's more raised voices.
Yeah, I'll say, oh,
and
fuck off, and then I'll go out the door, but I'll go in fucking pub, fuck this. You know what I mean? And she'll be like, no, don't you fucking dare, shouting out the window, you come back here or we're over. Yeah, that sort of thing. It's very verbal, should I say.
All right.
You know what I mean? But I'll go and have a pint, I'll come back, and she'll be like, love you, bang, end of. I don't like having a row or an argument and then sitting down and being like, right, so what about this? Yeah, and you've done this and you've done that. I need 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
What? Calm down.
Calm down.
Not necessarily calm down, just to reflect and, do you know what I mean? Just to get out and diffuse the situation so it doesn't escalate from her point of view or mine. You know what I mean? And by that I mean by her either lunging for me, do you know what I mean? And me having to lunge back or something. I just diffuse it there and then, which means taking me out of the equation.
The reason we're going over this, Kane, about the relationship is it is slightly worse than you've portrayed. There is a lot more aggression, and other people are saying violence. Now you're saying there's not much, but I mean you have
both parts, yeah.
Conceded a bit, pushing on both parts. Yeah. This is not an environment for children to be growing up in, especially if you're flipping just like that.
That's your opinion, and I don't just flip like that either. That's your personal opinion. I don't flip like that at all. It's your personal. Them kids never wanted for nothing. Do you know what I mean?
It is a violent, volatile relationship. It was more serious than you're making out.
I'm saying no. Sorry to
and something that there's been an argument and something's triggered, and either you or Lucci have flipped, and that is what has led to Teddy's head injury.
How dare you? No,
Kane, we've got to ask these questions because we've got to understand what was going on this day.
No way. No resent that.
As you're aware, Kane, we've got your phone and we've been through that. And we're a bit confused as to when your relationship with Lucci started.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Officially or unofficially?
We wouldn't text each other because she was seeing Liam and I was seeing Michelle.
The messages on your phone start in March between you and Lucci.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. But we were meeting up in Cahoots secretly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
The tone of the messages starts to gradually change, with both of you becoming very jealous of each other, questioning who you both were with.
she had insecurities and be like, oh, I bet you don't want me. I bet you're going to see someone else. But that, I think a lot of that was the basis how we started on. We started sneakily.
I mean, your messages, they go from being loving to nasty to loving to nasty. And then on one occasion, Lucy's gone to the park with one of them children's friends and his dad, and the messages from you get worse and worse.
Yeah,
you are demanding to know, and why are you there, chatting away to the other kid's dad? Are you cunt?
Yeah, I recorded messages,
Lucy's told you his name.
Even though their kids are friends. Why should she be down the park?
And, I mean, you're that angry, you say, fucking off out, you dirty tramp, leaving Teddy here, don't give a fuck. Answer me, you don't understand.
Yeah, that was that. I think, I was with, that just made sense. The last question, I threatened to leave Teddy there so she'd come back, and she'd come straight back.
Okay.
I would have never left him on his own, but I went, all right, then I'll leave Teddy here, shall I? And bang, she was back in 5 minutes. 4 or 5 minutes.
Answer me, you don't understand, you spastic. I've swore on my mother's ashes that unless you tell me Ross's second name before you're home, I'm beating you, you simple. Unless you tell me, I promise you, I'm going to have to take you in the bedroom and do you in. Please listen to me, I'm actually going to have to do it. I'm going to, if you don't tell me his name. So unless she tells you his name, you're going to beat her up, and you're blaming her for that reason. Did you beat her up?
No, I never beat her up. And it was just a threat. Yes, it was threatening. It was a threat, but she told me his surname straight away. Never ever touched her. I said, I'll leave Teddy here if you like. If you don't come back, she comes straight back. It was all just to coax her back into her territory. I knew it would work. Okay. I knew it would work.
And you can understand why that has raised our concerns.
Yes.
Because it is a violent, volatile relationship on the face of it.
Yeah.
Where children are present, where a child has sadly suffered fatal head injury and has been amongst this type of relationship. So can you understand why it's caused us some concern?
Yes.
Yeah. And Teddy was ever caught in the crossfire of any of these arguments?
No.
Which has led to, sadly, his head
injury. No way.
Okay. All right. The last bit we want to talk to you about, Kane,
yes,
is about who Teddy's biological father is. Okay. You've stated, Lucy stated, that you are Teddy's biological father.
She always told me I am, but some of the dates that we worked out that she gave me, she told me that I was, and I believe I am.
Okay.
His father.
I mean, we've got statements from people. Some of them, you know, they are hearsay. We appreciate that. We have had some DNA profiling about Kane.
Yes.
Okay. And the profiling has come back that you are not Teddy's father. Do you need a break, Kane? Just some time.
Sorry, Kane.
We are sorry to have to say this. You have a right to know. Of course. Do you want to? I think end it, yeah. Okay, we'll complete the interview. It's 14:40.
Always makes me feel bad when I see a grown man cry. I suppose that's why I don't feel bad. Anyways, so Kane Mitchell is released on bail again, and during bail, he realises he's going to go to prison as a baby murderer, which is very bad. So he decides to take the easy way out the hard way and ends up in hospital because he's a fucking idiot. And that leads us on to this.
Given what he's done, they have changed their mind and they will charge on the threshold.
Oh my goodness.
And they'll charge him with murder and her with Section 5. Yeah, absolutely. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. I'm so pleased.
Whoa.
Yeah. Because all I want is for it to be heard properly in court. That's all I want. And then the court can make their mind up.
off.
Huh?
Apparently he'll kick off as soon as he sees police.
Oh, really? Why?
Yeah.
What, has he indicated that to staff?
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, great.
Oh, great.
Okay, you come and sit down. But based on new evidence,
This is we're obviously aware of your condition, all right? Okay, and what's happened to you? Has he got red eye?
I hope you're not putting the mother of my son through this. Lucci. Oh, what a steady on, lads. I can't get in the back of the bloody van on a metal box.
That's what I'm just asking you.
We're trying to do it best for you.
That's what I'm just asking you, okay?
You're going to have to sit in a comfy chair.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm asking you, van or car?
Probably preferably a car, because
right,
I can't
okay, well, car then, it can be. No problem.
It'd be easier to...
Right. Short distance.
No, I need my crutch, please. I can't
yeah,
walk
we'll give you a
without
crutch.
it.
Yeah, don't worry.
That's the law, I'm afraid.
Right.
I should also be assisted up, but you're not qualified, are you?
I must have missed that course, but I'll help you any way that I can.
Well, technically, no. Actually, I know my rights. I want a qualified person to help me. And I know my rights and my law and my legislation.
You're walking a very short distance to the car here, which we're accommodating you with the seat as far forward as we can, all right?
Okay, I understand.
Take your time, by all means.
I understand everything, officer.
He is completely devoid of any remorse or real empathy for Teddy. And that's the thing that I find really, really hard, is it's all about Kane and not about what Teddy's been through.
No physio notes, apparently. Let me see. No physio notes in my property.
There's one charge, which I'm going to inform you.
I know what it is. I've already been informed, thank you.
Well, I'm going to tell you anyway.
Well, you can do, but...
And that's between the 1st of November 2019...
Yeah, apparently me or Lucy killed our son. I know.
We're here to effect the arrest of Lucci Smith. Hiya, Lucy. Hi Lucy, I'm Sergeant Mark Devine. We need to come to the police station this evening. We need to have a word with you. Well, we'll explain that to you when we go.
I'm waiting for my solicitor. I ain't going anywhere till she's here.
Till she's here?
No, till she's here, yeah.
What do you mean, she's coming here?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'll have to arrest you and take you to the police station.
You guys.
I'll be in that motor up there. Yeah?
About Teddy.
It is about Teddy, yeah.
Hello, you're right. I'm the custody sergeant, so I'm going to book you in. Okay, so I'm going to authorise your detention here at the police station so that we can charge. Okay, Lucy. I'm going to call you. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence. If you don't mention now, something which will later on in the court.
So, how did this real-life horror show all end up? Well, Kane Mitchell pled not guilty because, he'd never do something like that. He's not a real worthless piece of shite, as they say, and went to court and was found guilty of being exactly what he is, a baby murderer, and got life with a minimum of 18. And as for Lucy, after spending 7 months inside waiting for trial, when her day came for justice, she got a slap on the wrist. And that's probably because of the old battered partner syndrome. And that she must be suffering from it, because any normal mum would never, ever not put their kids first. So she must be a victim of the syndrome. Where I see it as she's only been dating him for about 8 months, right? She's only been dating this fucking Kane Mitchell for 8 months, and she knew what he was like with her kids, her little ones, before little Teddy came along. So for me, She's more of a really shitty fucking person who puts a dick in front of her kids. So here's to Teddy and the life that should have been. And to all of those bad guys, those septic kings of septic castles, I would like to say to them all that we are coming. It is only a matter of time. We are definitely coming.